Good morning, everybody. December 22nd. Holy cow, that's actually crazy. December 22nd, Ask Me Anything for the worldwide Linchpin community. Let me get all my questions called up here. Okay. All right, stand by. Expanding a couple things. All right, and we are good to go. So as always, got the questions curated from not only the private Facebook group, but also the BTWB Squads feature. Good morning. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. Family's asleep, got my cup of coffee. Sorry, you're going to hear the hello from Italy. What's going on, Italy? I'm actually half Italian, even though my first name's Patrick, which is confusing. But yeah, half Italian. That was hotter than I thought it was. Okay. Here we go. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first most upvoted question is from John W. John, I think this is your first most upvoted question, so congratulations. And I'm not surprised that it has a tint of dry humor to it. What goes through your head when we ignore regularly scheduled programming to engage in tomfoolery and shenanigans with like what's coming up next week? First of all, any question that has both tomfoolery and shenanigans in it is going to be a home run. So it's almost like you're cheating to get upvoted there. And what John is referring to is, there's God bless our community. Wonderful lunatics is what we have in the community. And once a year, some lunatics use peer pressure to get other lunatics to engage in fitness shenanigan and tomfoolery and go off script. And right around this time of year is when some people all voluntarily do Linchpin Test 13 together, because they're a beautiful kind of crazy. Test 13, all the tests are on the Linchpin website, but Test 13 is 400 meter run, 20 burpees, 400 meter run, 19 burpees, 400 meter run, 18 burpees. You see where this is going, all the way down to 400 meter run, 1 burpee. It also says if you feel so inclined, feel free to wear a weight vest, just like you would during Murph. And so by the end of that, if memory serves, you have run 5 miles and you've done 210 burpees, all potentially in a weight vest as well. So it's usually somewhere between a 60 and 90 minute just fitness extravaganza. And people do it voluntarily. And that, we're doing a challenge a month. So eventually Test 13 is going to be the challenge of the month. January is going to be Test 5. So about 8 months later, around August or September, Test 13 is going to be the challenge to the world. So good luck. But anyway, I see Rick says I cannot be peer pressured into that. I don't blame you, sir. What goes through my mind? I love it. I mean, again, it's stuff like that that I say all the time. I sound like a broken record. Everybody thinks that I'm lying. How can you have a community online, right? But we do. I mean, and the people there, the interactions and the joking and the egging each other on to do things and the support, it brings a smile to my face. And that happens every year with Test 13 around this time of the year. It's fantastic. So good luck to everybody, and I'll see you when it's time to do it for the challenge. I'll be there as well. Okay, the next most upvoted question from CW CrossFit, and she writes, you explained how Linchpin came about, but how did this Facebook group, the BTWB Squad feature community, and the policies get created? I'm asking because it's so awesome, and for the first time ever, I've actually enjoyed being on social media. It's so special. It's now become intertwined with my real life and helped me in ways that I could never imagine. Super cool. And by the way, right back at you, CW CrossFit. You're an integral part of what makes the community so special. I see the support you have with everybody in there every day. So, right back at you. So yeah, I explained how Linchpin came about in a previous podcast episode. The private Facebook group came about specifically through Nick B, who's one of the admins on the page, and has been with Linchpin forever. And he reached out to me one day and just basically said, I think a Facebook group would be a really great idea. And I politely said, no thank you. Just because I associated Facebook with drama, negativity, people shouting their view of politics or religion at somebody else and it devolving into chaos and dystopia. I didn't really have an interest in that. And Nick was like, he was pretty adamant. He was like, no, we can do it right. Like if we, there's a way to do it right and believe in the people that we have in this community to treat each other well and just set some standards and have a great space for people to interact. I was really, really, really hesitant and just frankly did not believe him for a while. But eventually I was like, you know what? Sure. We can try, because worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, we'll just stop the group, pull it down, right? I mean, who cares? So begrudgingly, I can't remember when, but begrudgingly we started the private Facebook group. And much like to your surprise, I couldn't believe how awesome and positive the experience was. And I set some group rules and policies for the group, and I was going to say we enforce them. I don't really enforce them, which is funny because I really don't have to, which is probably the most peculiar thing about the Facebook group and the BTWB squads feature. I mean, there are policies of, that should make sense, right? Like what you would tell young children in kindergarten. Treat each other with respect. Be kind to one another. No bad egos allowed. No bullies. This is a place to support each other and talk about fitness. It's not to share whatever polarizing topic is going on in the world, whatever controversial political debate. Like, this is not the group. You can find some place on Facebook for that, and more power to you. This is not the place for it. This is going to be what everyone always hoped that something on social media could be. Like, you can actually link everybody from all around the world and collectively share all that power and energy and knowledge and support, and how should I scale or modify. Like, imagine if you could actually do that, how it could be done. It'd be an amazing power and resource to hold in the palm of your hand. And we somehow did it. I don't know how. We somehow did it. And yeah, I mean, it's monitoring the Linchpin squad and the Facebook group is so easy. It's just, I don't know. Thanks to all of you for being who you are, making my life easy. But yeah, every now and then I have to let somebody know what the policy is, and I mean like once a quarter or something. And it's always, nobody did anything out of malice. They were just, didn't know something. I was like, hey, oh, by the way, you just can't share that here. It's just not for that. And they're like, oh, sorry about that. No worries. And poof, that's it. Like, it's literally that simple. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, next most upvoted one from Melissa L. Melissa L, where are you? I think you're, let's see. Oh, any 2023 goals? Not really. And I don't know, I stopped doing the goals thing. At least I stopped doing the goals thing because a certain date on the calendar came about a while ago. I certainly have things that are relatively steadfast that I try to do to, live the life that I want to live or whatnot. And so those will continue on and be a focus regardless of, that the new year's creeping up and the oversimplification of those two. And I like these, and I stole them from somebody else because they're so nice and succinct, is basically be somebody who voluntarily confronts problems and who tells the truth judiciously and intelligently. And those are all worded that way for a specific reason. Like, confronting problems, you're all going to have to confront problems, but there is some powerful psychological deal that occurs when you do something voluntarily. And you could relate this to CrossFit, as a matter of fact. If you have to force somebody to do something through compulsion, it might get done. Force them to do a project at work, force them to fix a problem, force them to work out, whatever it is, but they're doing it through compulsion, sure, the task will get accomplished. I'm going to mess this up, so I'm sorry. But that's it. The task will get accomplished, period, end of story. Now, if the same set of circumstances, something hard and arduous, a workout, making good nutritional choices, confronting a problem at work or in your personal life, if that same thing is confronted voluntarily by the individual and not through compulsion, there's something that changes inside the individual, and I don't know, it's the brain chemistry or plasticity. I'm sorry, I'm going to misspeak on something. But there's some positive effect that happens when you do it voluntarily over and over again, that you become, whatever the proper word would be, more resilient, more capable. It changes you a little bit for the better. So I always try to keep that in my head, that I want to be somebody who confronts problems and difficult things voluntarily. So that's going to remain. And then the other one, tell the truth judiciously, is a good thing as well, because I just think the truth will set you free. Whatever it happens to be, people need to hear the truth, whether it's with regards to physical fitness or whatever it happens to be. Straight answers, straight talk, not being overly harsh or whatnot, but people need the real deal information in order to make decisions to move forward. So tell the truth. So that's going to be hopefully continuing in 2023. That plays on the next most upvoted question from Justin M. that came from the BTWB Squads feature, that Justin asked, are there any major goals for Linchpin in 2023, and what was the highlight of 2022? So this is a truthful answer. Again, as I said, my goal is to tell the truth. But it might be an unsatisfying answer with regards to a big goal for 2023 or the highlight of 2022. It's honestly just stay the course. That's what it's going to be in 2024 as well. That's what it was in 2018. Stay the course. Keep learning. Know who we are. Know who Linchpin is and what it's supposed to be in the fitness space. And stay true to that. We do, again, these are not empty phrases, right? We do what's effective, not what's popular. We are by design, in my opinion anyway, what the goal is, to be the best, most effective CrossFit-based strength and conditioning minimalist program on the entire planet. That's my goal for Linchpin. That's what it is. And, minimalist meaning every workout designed, intentionally created, with the interplay with the other workouts to give you the most bang for your buck. I want to give you the smallest fitness dose possible each day that will yield the largest payoff in its transference to what you can do in the world and how astonishingly capable you are. That it should just astonish people as to how much their physical fitness can improve, how strong they can get, how their stamina and muscular endurance can improve, and we're not spending hours and hours in the gym and we're not walking around beat up. That's what Linchpin is right there, and that's what we've been, and that's what we're going to continue to be. And there's a lot of pressure to change that. I shouldn't say there's a lot of pressure, but social media nonsense of heavy lift every day followed by something that you do at a mediocre effort, and then because it seems to be cool, your favorite competitor's doing that, and all of a sudden you feel like you get hit by a train and you tweak your knee or your back, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that dumb stuff. We're going to do what works for the overwhelming majority of people and gives them crazy fitness for the level of effort that, not effort, but time they have to put into the gym. I always liken it to, I studied Spanish for a long period of time. It's probably one of my favorite pastimes. Sadly, I've gotten away from it with the new little girl in our life and all these things. I look forward to getting back into studying Spanish one day. But, if you met somebody that maybe primarily were a native English speaker and they spoke Spanish on the side, or it was a pastime, and they were really good at speaking Spanish, you'd be like, wow, that's so impressive. It's not your native language. It's so good. How often do you study Spanish? And they said, well, I study for 90 minutes to 2 hours every day of the week. You're like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. That your level of proficiency is so good, that makes a lot of sense. And then if you met somebody else who seemed to speak just about as well, and you're like, geez, you're amazing as well. How often do you practice Spanish? And they said, 5 days a week for about 30 minutes. And your jaw hit the floor and you'd be like, you're kidding me. 5 days a week for 30 minutes and you're that fluent in the language? That doesn't make any sense. How is that possible? And it's like, well, not all time spent doing something is the same. In that 30 minutes, if you're doing the most effective, most impactful with most transference, it should provide shocking capacity. And that, to a degree, is the goal with what we do with Linchpin with physical fitness. So that's that. And again, not to touch on it, I guess time will tell. But I've been around the old CrossFit community for quite some time, seen some interesting stuff, and I do truly believe, which is why we're staying the course with Linchpin, I do truly believe that there's a fair amount of people in this big world caught up doing some silly stuff, and I don't think their knees, backs, and shoulders are going to thank them later in life, and that is an absolute shame. It's tragic, quite frankly, because you only need to tweak your knee, back, or shoulder once, and that tweak can be your little annoying buddy for the rest of your life. I don't have any interest in playing that game. I got no interest in that at all. So we are going to continue to make smart decisions, to understand how scaling and modifying things are cool, and to truly understand what long-term health and fitness means. Not being a hero today on Instagram, but long-term health and fitness. So this is a marathon, not a sprint that we're doing. So those are all the things intertwined as to what we're going to keep doing at Linchpin. Okay, let's see. Next most upvoted one, this one's from Ben P. This one, I kind of feel like Ben's calling me out here and telling me that I should go seek counseling. Ben says, you've mentioned many times that if you don't work out on a workout day, that it messes you up mentally. Can you elaborate? You mentioned even if you're sick, you still work out. So I'm guessing the mental struggle doesn't have to do with your physical well-being, because you could argue training sick is actually not good for you. So what is it? What emotions or feelings are evoked in you if you don't work out on a scheduled work day? Man, I feel like I'm laying on my therapist's couch here, just diving into what happened in my childhood or something. All right, well, I mean, you pretty much nailed it, Ben. It's true. I mean, absolutely, I'm not going to sit here and defend that working out while sick is a smart thing to do. I'm a human being with my issues and things that I'm dealing with, just like anybody else, and for whatever reason, getting in the workout of the day, even if it is really watered down, really dumbed down, really ratcheted down, and I just move on a particular day that I'm not feeling it, or I'm a little under the weather, or whatever it happens to be, I still do that the overwhelming majority of the time. I bet over the course of the year, I bet on the high side I miss 5 workouts, like on the high side. And those 5 workouts, I probably tried everything I could, and somehow it was literally a day that I couldn't do it, and it bothered me the entire time. I don't know exactly what it is. Like I said, maybe some professional would have to dive into that. But it is my therapy and my release, which is interesting also, right? Because I've been very vocal and honest. Like I don't necessarily enjoy working out. All right, I mean it involves a fair amount of discomfort. I work out every day, and I have the dedication to work out every day and to not miss workouts at a maniacal level, because I understand delayed gratification, because I understand what that effort in the gym does, and the benefits are huge. And so that's why I do it every day, because I get it, and I get what it's going to do for my long-term health and fitness. And when I don't do it, it's not that it bothers me because I feel like I didn't help my long-term health and fitness. I don't even know how to describe it. I just feel like it's my little pressure release valve each day, my little pressure release, and I just need that to stay in this nice little zone, so to speak. It's almost like my therapy. And so if I don't get it, I feel like there's an itch that never got scratched, and it just stays annoying. And so I got to scratch that itch. Again, I'm sure we could go deeper than that, but yeah. Okay. All right. Next most upvoted question is once again from CW CrossFit. She's got 2 today. What's the first treat that I will have? And what she's referencing, and that is, every Monday we ask people to post their goals, short-term, long-term, whatever you want. And I don't know why I did this, but at Thanksgiving, I said, you know what? I'm not going to have any treats or cheat meals until Christmas rolls around. I'm going to go 1 month. I haven't gone 1 month in a while with no cheats or anything, so I'm just going to do it. Now, as soon as I said it out loud, I kind of had to do it. And we're getting close. 3 days away from me getting some cheats now. So she's curious, what would be the first treat that I have? Good question. I'm not exactly sure. I'm hoping when my family and my wife's family gets together that there'll be some sort of bread there. Like, I would love for there to be a pumpkin bread. I think that's more of a Thanksgiving thing. I would love for there to be some pumpkin bread. I could eat an entire loaf. It's so delicious. I would gladly take some banana bread. That would be amazing also. But if those aren't, I can't even remember, if those aren't really Christmassy, if they don't make an appearance, I'll be a little sad, but that's okay. But my mother-in-law usually makes, at every time we get together, this sweet potato, it's kind of a sweet potato casserole, I guess you could say. But let's not lie to each other. It's a dessert. It's served with the main meal as if it's just a normal sweet potato dish, but it's not. It's covered in brown sugar and all of this stuff that probably has about enough calories to sustain you for 2 weeks. And it's sickeningly sweet. Not sickeningly, that wouldn't be any good. It's deliciously sweet and amazing, and it's basically a dessert. And that usually makes an appearance, and so I very, very, very much hope that makes an appearance. And what I might do is just not even have any protein on my plate and just scoop a mountain of that sweet potato, delicious brown sugar, caramelized dish, and just make my way through it and then fall into some sort of coma on the couch. That's probably what I'll do. Mike B. This one came from the BTWB Squads feature. Mike B., where are you, sir? Okay, here we go. Mike starts off. I can't be the only one. Oh, Rick says the sweet potato thing sounds delicious. Rick, it's a dessert. It is. It's amazing. Okay, back to Mike's question. I can't be the only one. But any suggestions for pull-up progression issues? I'm relatively conditioned and strong for my height and weight, but as long as I've been working out, I struggle to not only progress, but to maintain what I have in the way of pull-up ability. Good question. You're right. Other people probably fall into this category. So the first thing that I would say is you might benefit, even though it sounds like you already have pull-ups, you might benefit from one of the Varied Not Random specialty courses. There's a specialty course, I think it's 8 weeks long, that just uploads right to the BTWB app, and you 3 times a week, and you can put it into your training sessions as accessory work or do it before the workout for your first strict pull-up. Now, what you might be able to do is take that first strict pull-up program and just use all of those 3 times a week sessions at the rep range that makes sense for you, since you already have some pull-ups, but you'll go through a nice detailed progression and a whole bunch of different variants in order to achieve that goal. So that might fit really well for you. That you can find the link to those programs. There's like 19 of them. They're in the show notes under every Varied Not Random show on the BTWB YouTube channel. You can find them there. You can go to programs.btwb.com/VNR, find them there. Or from the home screen on the BTWB app, you can tap the 3 lines in the upper right, and then you'll get a drop-down menu there. Tap Programs, and then once the program screen pops up, tap Skills on the top, and you'll see these things. And these are a whole bunch of things that Bosman and I put a lot of time, thought, and effort into. And there's stuff for body weight, there's stuff for barbell, and there's new stuff on the way. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but there's some new VNR programs coming up. It takes a while to get them perfect so they can upload to the app and create the ebook and all the stuff that we have to do. But there's one that's getting close, and it's cool, and it's for conditioning. And then there's a couple others in the works that I think are going to be really popular. So I'm excited to chat about those later, but I can't let the cat out of the bag yet. So I would do that. And also, if you can think about, Mike, what you're doing with pull-ups as well, there's all kinds of great things you can do. Static holds and negatives. Now, you want to be careful with negatives because of the eccentric loading and breaking down of muscle tissue and all that good stuff. But static holds, chin over the bars, lowering, weighted pull-ups, some tempo work, some bent over rows. And there could be some good stuff that you can do outside of just doing normal kipping pull-ups and thinking that doing just more normal kipping pull-ups might get you where you need to be. Think about what are the things that you could do outside of that, sprinkle them in a few times a week. If you're not looking for a structured program like that VNR one that I mentioned, there are certainly things that you could do there as well. And I almost don't want to mention this out loud, because when I do, then it becomes law that I have to do it. And I mentioned this a while ago with like the running program, and then everyone kept asking, when's that running program coming out? Which eventually was probably a good thing, because it peer pressured me into actually making it. And it'll be coming out shortly. But I was thinking that a pull-up program would be a good thing, because while that VNR one that I mentioned, that Get Your First Strict Pull-Up, which is wildly popular, by the way, I was thinking that a good addition to that would be another program offered under the VNR badge, basically called More Pull-Ups, quite frankly. And it would be specifically for people that already have some pull-up capacity but are looking to get it to the next level. And pull-ups are well indoctrinated into my mind from my previous career and whatnot. There's a lot of upper body pulling and pull-up capacity that we created intentionally, and so don't want to give myself more work to do, but that is on my potential to-do list, a program entitled More Pull-Ups. Okay, next most upvoted one. What is this? I did not give myself enough information. Oh, this is from Rachel. Okay, Rachel Y. What's the importance of a workout or health partner for success? Good question. Don't want to give an unsatisfying answer, but largely it depends, which should make sense, right? You've got people out there who are total self-starters. They seem to be a tower of discipline, and they don't need a check-in buddy. They just get it done every day. They rarely deviate. Their level of compliance is just high. Great. That's a unique individual, and there are plenty of other normal people walking around the face of the earth that having a support system, a check-in buddy, a workout partner, whatever it happens to be, helps you through those, through the lows, not feeling it today. The treats look extra delicious. You walk by the snack kitchen area at work, and all you want to do is dive your hand into that 2-pound tub of peanut M&Ms and just stuff them in your face like a chipmunk. We all can use support and various things like that. And so if you are one of those people which needs support and help, it's great to first of all identify that that's who you are, and then there's got to be somebody in your life who would love to fill that role. People do like helping other people, really. And you can always, people do this all the time, use the Linchpin private Facebook group, that's what it's for. Use the BTWB Squads feature to reach out for support. Hey, this is who I am. I'm struggling in this area. This is tough for me. Does somebody else want to be my partner to check in with? We can help each other stay on track. That happens all the time, and then people link up and they have that great little support system, and when you're not feeling it, you send them a text, you do whatever, and they can kind of help pick you up. So I absolutely would recommend that you give that a try. Okay. That is that, as they say. That was a good one. And I've only got one Linchpin shout out today. I just chose one because the show that I did on Tuesday was basically all Linchpin shout out motivation stories. And it's perfect, as a matter of fact, because the one that I chose today, before I even read all the questions, is from CW CrossFit. And she specifically asked the question earlier in the AMA about, what makes the community. You know, how did the private Facebook group and BTWB squads feature come about? Why is it so cool? Well, she's a big part of why it's so cool. And it's funny, I picked her question today, as a matter of fact, or her shout out that I screenshotted a while ago. And this is what she wrote one day. This community is awesome. Never have I felt so supported as I do by all of you. Just so many tips and words of encouragement across the globe go such a long way with helping me build my confidence and challenges myself to do things I didn't think I was capable of. Thanks to all of you, and happy Sunday. And as I said, right back at you. So, yeah, again, it happens every week. I'm sure there's some people watching this video that aren't members of Linchpin. They're like, there's Sherwood again, saying that the community's cool, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not lying. And a quick wrap-up, I guess, is, what are we? We're in December. January's coming up. January will be the Test 5 Challenge. We're doing one Linchpin test each month, and next month is Test 5. It's running and a heavy barbell. So everybody gets something that they like or don't like at the same time. Linchpin Test 5 is, you load a barbell to 225 pounds for men, 155 for women. Yes, use a rack. And then for time, 20 back squats, 2-mile run, 20 back squats. Couldn't be simpler. You need legs, you need lungs, you need to be strong. Can't be afraid of a decent run. It's a great test, and so it's going to be a good one. And every month, you know, we've got swag. Of course, you can do it for free. Just do it for free, get on the leaderboard. But the swag next month is a really nice green t-shirt, and I chose this green t-shirt. I don't know if you remember that BTWB, they did a Fran challenge a long time ago, and the t-shirt that they gave out was this beautiful green t-shirt, and so I chose that same color. And so, yep, Test 5, and then in the bottom it actually says, in the past, for the first 4 Linchpin tests, it said effective, not popular, but now in the bottom it says lift heavy, run fast, and so that should be cool. Of course, we have all the names of people who do it on the back. You'll get your name on there. And then the other piece of swag will be, the sticker pack is making a return. People love the stickers. So you'll get another camo sticker, I believe, just a classic Linchpin sticker. And then I think we're going to do 2 of the same one. You'll get 2 packs of these. One that says, I know this is mirror image because of my phone, lift heavy, run fast. And then the bottom one which says, running is stupid, but it works. And so you just put those stickers all over everything and life will be great. So I'll give you more information as that comes close. And of course, I'll give other options as well. Like the workout that I just said, that'll be the prescribed version. There'll be a wild card version of it. There'll be a scaled version, and there'll be a dumbbell version. And I'll also give some, and that'll of course be different loadings for those various things. The dumbbell option will have different rep range. And I'll also give an option for maybe you can't run because there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. So there'll be a way if you can want to do it on a rower or want to do it on a bike. We'll give some options. I see Melanie says, the second sticker, I have issues with it. Yeah. So we got to, again, we have fun at Linchpin. And that second sticker came about through the wonderful, playful banter that takes place in the Linchpin Facebook group and whatnot. That anytime a running workout comes up, a good crew just leaves these polite comments that says, running is stupid, and everybody interacts and all that. So I was like, we got to make a sticker that says running is stupid. And then, of course, I put, but it works at the bottom. And somebody said they're going to take that sticker and they're going to black out with a marker at the bottom that it says, but it works, and just keep the running is stupid. So that's it. And yeah, have a great day. And I will talk to you later.